Greetings, Dapplings, and welcome back to another episode of Humankind, where the Egyptians are presently dealing with an animal sanctuary, or at least one of its major armies is. Though that being said, its major army is also in a pretty poor state. While it does have veterancy and a decent amount of troops, the lack of health makes me a little bit concerned about using it in any actual conflict, given that while I am fairly certain that in most conflicts we'd be able to win just through use of tactics, I'm not confident at all we'd be able to win it without losing someone, and that would be an expensive loss. Veterancy doesn't come easily in this game, so that's definitely something we're going to want to think about, moving them back sooner rather than later so they can at least heal and be in tip-top shape. Now, presently, Manu is currently building up porcelain, I believe. Are we building porcelain over here? Let me find out. Where am I building this? Yes, we are actually building the porcelain. I'm a little bit concerned, though. I kind of want to get this 20 faith going, because right now, whilst we are spreading out, and it is lovely to see it, Shen down here is starting to spread out just as quickly. If we have a look over here and check out their current religious push, they've got 48 faith impacting that territory. How much faith do we have in our territories? Let's have a look. We've got 65. Okay, that's not too bad, but you need to be about 20% more influential to convert neighboring territories, and the further you go, the harder it is to connect them, because every territory that your influence has to pass through diminishes its effect. So I think getting the stone circle up and running, as much as I am a little bit concerned about the loss of stability, we're going to hit this midpoint of stability no matter what we do at this point. If there was some way that I could make sure that we would stay above the 90% point, then I would possibly go for it, because that's where you get the choicest and best events, whereas this is kind of equal positive and negative events. I don't think we can avoid being in there, and we're at no risk of going down into the truly bad area where stability is so low you might have revolutions and revolts and so on and so forth. So I think we're just going to finish off the stone ring. I know I'm flip-flopping a little bit there, but I think once I actually had time to properly look at the situation, getting the porcelain up a couple of turns sooner wasn't actually going to make any difference, but getting religion out there a little bit sooner may convert more territories and may actually confer a bit of an early game advantage for us. You successfully plundered. Fantastic. Okay, well, let's move on. Actually, on this point, how much is it going to cost me to... Ooh, okay, it doesn't cost me that much. Well. I could do this in one turn and then carry on. I think... Yes. Let's get down another outpost ASAP. I know there is curiosity down there, but we're so close to Shen's borders that there is a chance that Shen would be able to spread over here and take this before we place that down. If in doubt, place first, and then worry about the smaller details later. We're still in a position of trying to get a land grab. Now, that was 50. I imagine this one's going to be a similar price because of the distance from the nearest city. In that case, because the border that was controlling the price is the same border here, so this is probably going to be a similar price. Once we've got another 50, we're going to try and place something down here, and if we can get over there and grab those obsidians, then that would be amazing for our overall stability, but we'll see how that one goes. Right, our army up here is moving in to grab those curiosities that we were very kindly made aware of by our somewhat allies. And that's the end of the turn. Population gain, nice. And one of the merchant stars has been earned. Fantastic news. Okay, that has given us 178. Or rather, the next one will give us 178. I think we got 78 for claiming that star. Note that because we're builder focused, if we get builder stars, we're going to get 10 extra fame. And I believe that boost of fame, that fame bonus, grows larger with the era that you're in. So a later era will have a significantly higher boost from era-specific stars. Now, ooh, hello Shen. Yes, I see you down there. Probably thinking about trying to grab Grab territory. We might not be able to stop them at this point. Everyone's got horses but me. Also, 2 spearmen. That is definitely something I don't want to play with. These people do not have an outpost or a city. Oh, okay. Indifferent. You and 6 other empires have reached this threshold. So they haven't yet founded a city. So they're probably sallying from a redoubt, basically a proto-city, much as with civilization and barbarian camps and animal sanctuaries, a closer comparison to make. The neutral armies, both the hostile and the peaceful, will come from a camp tile, which, if left alone, will eventually become a city. That's effectively what happened to Nock over here. They were initially a stronghold, which is the peaceful version of the hostile city's redoubt, and eventually managed to pass enough turns that they upgraded, which is actually pretty cool. Right, on the next turn, we lay down our very first holy site, which I'm actually quite excited about. World Deed locked. Sacred ground has been locked by another empire.
I
really?
didn't mean to be pushy.
Oh no, there we go. We oh. Do you get joint if you both complete it at the same time? Also, they've just completed a holy site, which is actually kind of annoying, but that's actually really cool. I had no idea that building the first holy site was going to get us fame, but I definitely didn't have, and I really should read through these and know what I should aim for, because they do give you fame, ultimately, which is actually quite important. Nevertheless, and that one's quite a lot, and that's an easy one as well, but I had no idea that you could share these. I wonder how that would work with discoveries. Would it even be possible to share a discovery, for example, a natural wonder? I don't think you could see it at the same time as someone else. We just got a builder start. Fantastic. Excellent
Devotion
work.
and respect for authority. Good. Just be careful of fanaticism.
I will endeavour to be careful about this. Cultural conversion started. Aavak will enter the sphere of influence of the Hittites in 5 turns. Oh, okay. Sacred ground has been locked by another empire. Did that give it to us twice? World deed accomplished. Achieve the world deed, build a holy site, and then sacred ground locked by another empire. Interesting way of putting it. Right, let's have a look at you. How many different influences are going here? Now that we've actually got a territorial border, influence can spread through it, which is an interesting one. So the Hittites are contributing 9 of the total of 19, so that's a lot. Yeah, they are contributing over half. They must have an enormous amount of influence to be able to pass through that many territories and still hit us with that strong of a cultural blow. Ooh, we're going to want to try and curb that very quickly indeed, and that's probably the same case down here. 10 influence there. Shen is contributing 6. I'm only contributing 4 because it's so far from our main city. Now that's definitely one of the advantages that you have if you have cities. More cities rather than building tall, you build wide, is because cities tend to be focus points of influence. And indeed, there we can see that right there, 7 influence there. That is an awful lot of influence to be being generated. And as a result of that, if you spread your cities around, no border is ever too far away from a city. So they're getting a good injection of influence at all times. Right, you are a concern, but hopefully you're going to be bothering Shen rather than us. Has that... Oh, that has actually... has this become a city? The shield confused me a little bit, but no. That is still a proto-city. Okay, well, we'll have to concern ourselves with that in time. But now that we're here, we are actually regenerating, which is very, very nice indeed. Now, which direction do we want to try and go in? Do we want to try and close in a little bit more on Shen, grab this territory, and then eventually try and make a push down here? That's going to be a very big ask. But that has got 2 different strategic resources and 2 luxury resources, whereas over here, it's got copper and another strategic resource. Still, options are pretty good in any direction right now. Nevertheless, I feel that we should probably speak with Shen a little bit more.
Why are you here?
Well, I mean, you know, we're on relatively good terms, I would have thought. Stable. Okay, it's not shifting down at least, and that is very nice. Let's have a look at trade. You've got obsidian, which gives 2% extra industry, or marble, which gives 1 industry per worker. And that is per industry worker. You know what? Let's go ahead and open up these trades. There we are. I will also buy you. That's a decent amount. Can I afford to get these? No, not until a couple of turns. But it is definitely worth us taking, because that will help us with stability. If we have a look at our stability now, we are now trending back upwards towards 96. That is fantastic. Now, a big part of that is coming from the Whomping Great 20 stability we're getting from the Holy Site. How has that changed the lay of the land in terms of religion? We are converting, whilst culturally conversion isn't going super fast, we are religiously converting quite aggressively, which is very nice to see, especially because you do have a Holy Site. Oak Brethren, in 8 turns, we're contributing 77 of the 122 faith there. That's very, very good to see. Each one of our attached districts is providing a healthy amount of additional faith to this conversion. And despite them having a Holy Site right there, it doesn't seem to be helping them. Once a territory, especially a territory of another empire, comes under your control, whether culturally or religiously, you don't control it, you don't have any direct economic benefit from being the dominant culture or the dominant religion there, but it does open up different ways of interacting with the empire at an empire level. Diplomatically, you can generate grievances, or in fact, even going to war. If you are culturally influenced by an opponent and you go to war with that opponent, your war score will drop faster because your people are kind of at odds. There's split loyalties. They are culturally admiring these people that you're now asking them to fight. That causes a bit of a debuff to their war support. And these sorts of effects are actually really, really potent and very, very important indeed to bear in mind. Right, we do have enough that if we're able to move in here, I would very much... Oh, drat. Okay, religious conversion in 4 turns. Okay. What does this say? Religious conversion of this territory will be achieved in 4 turns. Select to open the religion screen. Okay, well, it isn't giving me too much information on that, but sadly, as I suspected, Shen is on the move to claim territory. Well, I'm very glad that I managed to grab this one then in that case. Very well, let's make our move over here if we're able. And see what we can see. If I can grab this territory, I'll be happy. Sadly, we're not going to grab this one. I could go and try and ransack this building before it's even built. Now, if I do that, that is going to put some issues with me and Shen, especially because Shen and I have a non-aggression pact. That would be a problem. But if we didn't have the non-aggression pact, it wouldn't necessarily lead to war, because it's a neutral territory, and you can fight in neutral territories. However, you down here are a bit of a problem. Another way that you can deal with the stability, by the way, is stationing units in areas will help manage stability. Right, okay, well, we're going to hold on to this 55 influence and see what we can do down here. We have resource sold. Our porcelain was purchased by the Harappans for 30 gold. Very, very nice indeed.
Why are you here?
Well, because you're trading with me. Why else would I be here? My lord. If we have a look at that, yeah, we're both depending on each other for trade resources, largely for stability. Honestly, in my first game of this tutorial, I didn't really quite understand what it meant by we rely on them and they rely on us, because as far as I was concerned, luxury resources, simply because of my experience with other games, it was just a bonus. It wasn't something you relied on. Had it been strategic resources, then yes. But now I have a better understanding of the way that has an enormous impact on stability. It absolutely is something you rely on. Right, the Hittites have had a change.
I teach you wisdom, I will teach you regret.
That's bold words, but okay. Let's have a look at you. This empire now feels differently about us. Why? Oh, okay, they're stable. We signed a new treaty. Their archetype are vindictive. They ate grievances. We follow different religions. I mean, these are all things that will frustrate them. Our war support is not particularly high. Their war support is rising by 2. They could declare an actual war soon. We need to be aware of this. That is a problem. We definitely want our armies near their borders then, given that. I think, while I would not like to go to war, like all-out war with them just yet, hope for peace, but prepare for war. Population gain in Marfak. Okay, already gaining population. That is marvellous. If we can bring these populous areas under our control, that will give us a nice big boost to... Ooh, new grievance available. Okay, let's have a look at that.
Will we end the day friends or foes?
You claimed Tanya. Ah, damn it, you did move in there. Okay. Which borders us? Okay, well, we'll keep this for now. But that means that we can, at the very least, use our influence for other things, namely attaching more territories. Again, going with a tall build rather than a wide build is going to be a problem in that regard. You're going to have the ability to go to war with us in 1 turn. Well, 2 turns, actually. Let's be sure that our troops are nearby. We can no longer go in there because we don't have an agreement for passing through territories. That being said, getting an early war on the go might be a potent move. How much money? We've got 195. I don't think that's enough to get us an archer, but let's go ahead and grab one, nevertheless, and see how much. No, a little bit off from that, sadly. We're going to have to take some time. I do apologize for the alarm there. It's just letting me know that I need to go and get Ciri's meds. And on the topic of getting Ciri's meds, I will be right back. By the way, Ciri's doing very well. For those of you who have been inquiring on Twitter, she is taking to her medicine and the treatment exceptionally well. So, yes. More pictures, or as always, on Twitter and on Instagram, etc., etc., if you're interested in the daily comings and goings of my ferrets. But, on that note, be right back. Okay, we are going to move the archers up because having them in 2 turns versus having them in 5 turns is obviously quite a lot better. And I do feel that a war is brewing between us and Fitz. So we need to be prepared for that as soon as possible. If I could take this territory off Fitz, I would feel a lot better, and maybe even this territory. But that is another city, and while I wouldn't necessarily mind taking it, as it has some nice resources, I would prefer to just grab 1 territory at a time that can be an outpost for us rather than anything else. Right, okay, so with that, let's end the turn and see how things play out. We've converted to the Oak Brethren. Fantastic. Cultural conversion started. Okay. It looks like Shen is now becoming a lot more of a concern here. Convert to the Hittites. Let's have a look at how much culture is being applied. 9, 9, and 5. Oh, interesting that it may be flip-flopping between the two. I wonder how that's going to pan out. Either way, though, we're significantly less influential there, and that makes me very, very sad indeed. But we are more influential here, so we're starting to push back against the territories that are starting to encroach on our influence. Again, you have to be about 20% higher than the current owner in terms of religious or cultural pressure to make a conversion. If it's neutral, then it's anyone's game, and it's literally just first past the post, more or less. Right. Okay, we're at full health at this point. I believe we have a couple of grievances that are the only... that only have 1 turn left.
Not love or hate at first sight. Let's see how second sight goes.
I suspect you will start a war soon. I may as well get something out of it, so I'm straight up going to demand that you give us 100 gold. And...
agree to my reasonable demand, or I become unreasonable.
Yes, take that.
Spit blood at this stupidity.
I don't think it's... No, it's good foresight. Now, they have not acknowledged the demand, though they have said that they want us to pay them 100, and I want them to pay us 100. In terms of proximity of our ideology, we're tolerant of one another, so we shouldn't have any problems with generating negative sentiment if we have a war. However, they will have an easier time of running a war than we will. It's just the way that one's going to roll. Furthermore, I'm going to say I would like this territory. I mean, if they will give me the territory, I will happily take it off them. Demand.
Do you not understand the difference between request and demand? Idiotic decisions by idiotic rulers.
That's just your opinion, though, man. We're going to go with these. Now, this means that when we go to war, these will automatically be selected and have to be selected. But you can have them at a much lower cost because these would be the reasons we went to war. Now, we have ongoing demands, and so we're now generating a decent amount of war score. So we may be the ones to be able to start the war. If they start the war and we just win, having those as demands prior to the war beginning means that we can have them as our war goals. If you don't have those demands already set up, then sadly, it typically won't go your way. You can't make a demand out of a grievance once a war is already ongoing. But I don't think the grievances tick down in the same way whilst a war is ongoing. I think they basically go on pause. Now, to connect you is going to cost 280. Okay, it's going to take me a while. But in the meanwhile, I can still use my influence. Namely, to hook up porcelain or marble. Well, let's have a quick look again. That's 2 industry per worker. Well, actually, no, it isn't. It's 1 industry per worker, but we've already got 2. So that would bring us up to 3 industry per worker, which is actually quite nice. Quite nice indeed. Let's go ahead and settle that one. There we go. And sure, let's settle this one as well. There we go. That's going to be bringing in quite a lot of stability for us. And that should help in a big way. Let's have a look over here. We should be tending towards 100. Yes, we are. Perfect. We've got our archer going to be on the board very soon. If we have a look at how much industry we're now producing, we're producing 9 per worker, and that is absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. We could then probably throw this down after the pyramids, I'm thinking. We'll see how that one goes. Right, let's pass a turn. You can, for the time being, just go into a holding pattern. I want you to be ready to protect us should a war be declared. We will probably declare a war once we're able to, if Fitz doesn't. Access to our porcelain has been purchased by the Harappans. Excellent, some more money for us. And we've also got an event. A melody for every occasion. In the teeming, iconic city of Manu, see, Manu is now iconic. Musicians are celebrated part of our local culture with long history in holy rites. They bring nobility to religious rituals, jollity to palace celebrations, and smiles to the sick and ailing, courage to the marching armies, and distraction to the gods. Alas, they are still too small in number, especially the good ones. And now, word of their renown has reached across the empire. Lords, priests, commanders, amongst others, are grousing that their city deserves such artists too. There is only 1 city, though. How will you satisfy them? We can muster street musicians, riddle Manu. They could help commerce elsewhere, even if they distract learning. Chance of unexpected consequences there. Parsimonious on Manu, which would mean we'd gain more money but less science. Less enlightened citizens result is the capital earmarked for schooling, and innovation is kept for the treasury coffers. Or build. Every city will be required to build an institution of music where we can teach new performers. Now, I would like to go for this one. It would give us overproductive on Manu, but I don't want to move us out of having faith on territory. So we're going to go with muster purely for the faith. I'm so tempted to go with this, though. I mean, it's basically between what I feel that would be a better move in the long term for the Empire versus what the roleplay part of me wants to go for. I'm Welsh, okay? We literally have entire vast festivals, cultural festivals dedicated to music. It's in my blood. I can't go against it. No, we're going to build it. As much as we don't actually want to lose the faith bonus, and as much as we don't need the stability bonus, we're going for it. I cannot dishonor the traditions of my people. Right. But with that, we have an archer, and that archer is going to be making their way rapidly down here. There we go, moving along the river for now. It's basically an early game road.
Shared anger will not resolve this. Let us step back.
To bilaterally renounce all
Something from you.
demands.
Lovely. The dogs are famished.
It's kind of where I'm sitting, though. So you want to downplay this. Now, the problem is that you can stay at 80 war support based purely on the fact that you're a military-focused culture. I can't. I need demands to be able to be there. I'm going to refuse. No, we're not going to drop these demands.
Once again, you show how inadequate you are.
Yep, we're going to go to war.
What
I'm
we're
in
doing
position.
Is such a good idea.
Declare war.
No more talk. My armies will speak for me. It is war. You threaten me with violence. I threaten you with ridicule.
Okay, that stings a little bit. But we'll see which one is laughing last.
You have something to say?
Resource sold. Access to our marble was purchased by her Rappins. Okay, well, this is actually going quite nice. Quite nice indeed. Hopefully that does just tick down eventually. I wouldn't mind sharing maps with you, Shen. I really wouldn't. How about we go for that? Let's propose this.
Let us formalize.
No,
our mutual
they don't like it.
How could you think the answer would be yes?
Well, I was hoping that we were close enough, but apparently no.
This is
That's a
what you
shame.
wish to do.
I should have held out a little
You
bit
set
longer.
things in motion.
Now, that has caused a grievance, which is going to rise my war support, interestingly. This claimed territory grievance will drop off eventually, and they are nowhere near wanting a war. I don't really want a war with them, though, so I can renounce. So let's go ahead and renounce making it. I'm going to forgive this grievance.
For that trifle, it's already forgotten.
There we go. Water under the bridge.
You understand nothing.
Wow, Shen, you're making it hard to like you. I'm not going to lie. I'm I'm wearing my friendliest face right now, and you reply with that, my lord. Nevertheless, we are now at war, as denoted by the little spikes around there, and their war support is currently growing 10% from other breaking one treaty. I wasn't aware that we broke a treaty. From proximity state as attacker, -1 for declaring the war. By refusing to bilaterally forgive these demands, we triggered a war. That was the only way that was going to go down. And that's one of the things that you need to be aware of in this game. Don't make hasty demands, because if they refuse to acknowledge the demand, your only recourse is A, just back down completely, or go to war. You've locked yourself in a way once that happens. Now, we would be crossing a river if we fought there, and I'm not entirely down for that. Being said, is there any high ground here? No. Everywhere is rivers. Not great. Nevertheless, let's get in there. Start an early battle. This will start hitting their war support in a big way, hopefully. You do not need to be over there. They can't really do anything from over there, so could you instead be up here, please, and indeed, thank you. End deployment. Let's see where they are. They're moving in. Interesting that we're already set up as defending. They got the first move. Ah, right, okay. Alright. Let's move our units to close. There we are, and you can be over there. We'll move along this river into position. You are now, in a way, surrounded. Now, getting over there is going to be tricky, so I'm going to leave you here for a second so that we get the biggest possible... I think they were the ones that attacked us, effectively, in an odd way, since we've got the defensive flag. But... well, we're going to come off worse for this, but there's a lot more of us, and we can then heal, which I'm very okay with. Right, you're next. You'll get the maximum possible bonus from having 3 friendly units nearby, +1 from veterancy, -3 from crossing a river, so we're 14, and they're already losing some of their strength. Now, if we move over there, this unit will then have benefit from nearby combat units, 2 of. Let's just pull their health down as low as it can be, so that when they choose to attack on the next round, there's really not much that they can do about it. Okay, they lost 10. And you are badly beaten up, to be certain. Let's not use you. Well, actually, I guess. I could just have you get involved. Sure. Let's spread out the loss of health a little bit. There we go. Now, that will have impacted their overall strength. Quite a lot, actually. But there we are. They've lost war support by 8, and that will have increased our war support as well. So if we now have a look in here, I wish there was a way that we could easily see the war support just by hovering over rather than coming into the diplomacy screen. But their war support is still increasing because we've only reduced it by 8 from the loss of battle, but they've got plus 10 this turn. But that's an instant increase, and it's not going to persist. The more cities we can claim, in fact, we're going to need to take a city in order to win this war, realistically speaking. We are constantly going to be losing war score. Either that or we need to be in a lot of fights, but I don't really want it to go that long. We've got plus 10 from them refusing a demand and plus 8 from our recent victory. So overall, a pretty good increase there. And with that, we're going to just nip back and immediately heal up. All right, let's get our archers down here and we'll swap out one of the weakest units in this army for the archers. At this time, I feel that it behooves us to continue pumping out archers. There we go. You can move up there. In fact, I can just straight up purchase this archer, and I am absolutely going to do that. There we go. Archer recruited. Let's get down there. 2 archers with our scouts is going to be a very nasty fight for our enemies. Masonry researched. With the ability to hew rocks into precise blocks held together with mortar, buildings can last centuries instead of years, transforming the character of cities. Fantastic. There we go. So that's going to, once we've built that infrastructure, we'll get a lot of extra resources there. And the science star has been earned. This brings us up to 4 stars total and a little bit of extra fame. Let's see where we sit with that. We're now in 3rd place, but we have a group of warriors. Now, they've got a strength of 20. That is unfortunate, but we have had we've had 1 turn of healing here, so that is quite fortunate for us in a certain way. Okay, we want to make sure that our strongest units are closest to the warriors. Now, ideally, I want them to fight outward, not us. You can sit back defending the town. They have to fight us. They're going to go up and around and fight us on the river. That's not the best for us. They have taken a better position there, realistically. I should have considered that a possibility. Right, as for you though, let's get over there. Now from this position, we have a fairly good chance. We'll use our weakest unit to absorb the worst attack there. Oh, that was the worst possible roll we could get there. That was absolutely dire. I'm thinking that we might want to defend here. Allow them to come to us, realistically speaking. You move down so that you're backing up our units here, but as you can see, this is going to be a bit of a nasty one. There we go. They lost 22, but they did a lot of damage. An awful lot of damage, actually. Once again, crossing the river is going to hurt us immeasurably. Whereas I'm not entirely sure that they are actually getting a penalty from having to cross the river here. So let's try and relocate our troops a bit. Force them to come to us. You can't move as easily. Oh, we're about to lose a unit here, I feel. Alright, let's see where you go. Are you going to be tempted? You are, and you are now fighting across a river. That gives us a much better chance. Let's have a look at you. If you attack from here, yes, you're not going to have the river penalty. That is exceptionally good to know for future conflicts. Exceptionally good to know for future conflicts. Let's move across if we can. Alright, well, let's get in there, do a bit of damage. I fear that we are going to lose a unit, but if I can avoid losing one of my veteran units, I would be so much happier with that. I am going to use you to absorb some more of their health. You're going to be fighting across the river, so it's going to be a rough battle for you no matter what, but let's do it. If you get a good roll, you might be able to do... Oh, you got an amazing roll. Okay. Not bad. Managed to avoid losing a single unit there. I am very pleased with this, but you have got a very large army on the way. We need to not be near that large army. It would take them time to sack any of our buildings, and I am happy to let them use that time doing that. Alright, let's get you down here. Let's merge these armies together. Let's see. Yep, you can move in there. Now, at this point, can I hire any of their armies? Are we in a good enough position to do that? No, not quite. Very well, I'm going to grease the wheels a little bit. And hopefully, next turn we'll be able to start hiring their armies to help us defend. But they've got a nasty group. Now, that group might go down to Aavak, which wouldn't be great for me. But we'll see how we can play that out. Alright, we've also got to pick our next research. And I am feeling that at this point, getting the warriors is kind of a no-brainer. Let's go for that one. And we've also got a new event. The Walking Wounded. During the recent brutal battle, many soldiers sustained horrific, life-changing injuries. Before returning to Manu, for some, their whole character has changed, becoming aggressive, demented, or unable to bear others' presence. Others suffer physical wounds, some forced to use crutches or carts to move around. Among the citizens, fear mixes with admiration as they spy them on the streets. Your lead will be vital. How do you welcome your crippled soldiers? We can glorify them. These men and women are heroes. We will celebrate their great sacrifice, which is plus stability, or exploit. These brave soldiers might not fight again, but they can still be useful tools by inciting military feeling. Patriotic in Manu, which would reduce our unit requirements and would move us. Well, actually, wouldn't change our status there at all. And exploiting them, I mean, it calls it as it is. It sees a spade. It says it's a spade. It's not a revolutionary soil excavation device. It's a spade. No, we're going to glorify them. Again, a little bit of roleplay there. There we are. Okay. Using them to get other people to go to war doesn't help them. It certainly helps us. Alright, we want some more units. More archers would be grand, but harder to protect. I could get a mounted unit into the army here. It'll take me a turn, but that's fine. It'll also reduce our population by 1. And again, this is where having the large populations really, really comes into play. Alright, pass the turn. Population gained. Let's have you move down. Join our archer team. Okay, they are moving in. And they are going to sack this territory in 2 turns. Alright. Now, this is going to be an interesting fight because they are fighting this group here. I'm not sure who's going to be involved in the battle. I believe it is only you. We can't have extra units. That's a shame that I wasn't able to get them down there in time. Okay, manual battle then. We don't want to lose the high ground. We also don't want to be fighting over river. So let's draw back from the front lines and force them to come to us. Let's move you up there as I feel you're the more likely to be attacked. Alright, how are you going to attack us? Okay, it was a reasonable exchange. This has exposed you to a fairly good opportunity for us to attack you. Sadly, we can't get up there, though. That is a real shame, because getting up there would have meant that we could have assaulted them from the rear, which would have given us a significant advantage there. Okay, I'm going to have you make your way over here and defend. Not the strongest plan, to be certain. Especially because they'll be attacking you in the river for now. I would like you to move up and defend from this position. On the next turn, we'll see if we can get up on top. Okay. How are you going to react? We could attack you, but I will come off significantly worse in that exchange. So I'm just going to buy some time with a defend. How do you plan on attacking? You're going around. Oh, no. Oh, you went straight into our defenses. Okay, I didn't see you moving there. But, of course, cavalry don't have to worry about zone of control. A particularly unfortunate situation has now arose. However, I can make it all the way down and attack from the tree line. Okay, first and foremost, let's make this attack.
No mercy.
There we are. Secondly, let's do another attack from... And we're getting the benefit now of attacking from the high ground. And... well, that will bring us into death range for them, which I'm not super looking forward to. What round is this? Round 2 of 3. We've got one more round to go. You have 2 rounds to take control of your camp. Okay, we're going to defend. Whenever they attack, if they move out to attack this unit, then they'll probably win, but we'll be able to retake our flag. If they attack any of the units here, I think they'll probably kill themselves. There we go. Okay, not a bad engagement, all things told. We've got a military star. Okay. Right. That has given us a little bit of extra fame there. Now, let's have a look at how this war is going so far.
You? What is it? Don't get
They're losing 8. They're now below the point where they could declare war, whereas our war support is rising very aggressively. However, are they still in war? No, we've won that one. You need to not be here anymore. Please extricate yourself from this scenario. Go somewhere safe. Actually, can we hire you? We can. Yes. For 20 turns. Oh, joy of joys. Have you got any other units that I can hire? Sadly, no. But that's fine. We've got 2 turns to get down here and take you on. I may be able to get this spearman to back us up. What kind of group is this? 1 archer, 3 warriors. A worrisome scenario, to be certain. We're now starting to flex some of our economic might. Let's have you withdraw a little bit further and continue to heal. I have a pyramid in a turn, but this may be a bit of an issue if they manage to get that, so let's forgo getting that pyramid built and instead add another archer. There we go. Okay. Can you move anymore? You can. I will be able to engage them. Whether that's going to be the best play or not is entirely unknown to me, if I'm perfectly honest with you. Okay, one of the Astite stars has just been earned. Very nice indeed. We only need 1 more star and we can advance to the next era. Though, Fitz is already there. Damn. Cultural conversion is ended. We've lost one of our cities to the influence of another. Right. Now, if I move all the way down there, I'm not going to have enough turns to get into this fight properly. And that pains me. But I need to end this attack now. Yeah, that does pain me. It would have been great to have had them. Creating an institution dedicated to music in every city was an excellent idea. Performers produce refined, delicate compositions, and many pay for the privilege to hear them play. Music is a serious, artful practice carried out by trained adepts. The strict classical musical culture is well established. Euphony. Music is a sacred art, only to be performed by those with the requisite learning. I disagree about that. Music is meant to be enjoyed by everyone and performed by everyone. It's just I wanted to encourage people to... Oh, no, I've accidentally done the opposite of what I wanted to do. This feels like how most things happen, actually. I have accidentally become a tyrant. Oh, Oh well. We've got some archers over there that I could potentially hire. Cannot be done as this is a defending army. Ah, they're defending from the bear, I take it. What about you? No, again, cannot bring you into this fight. But I need to stop this fight right now. We have the advantage, but they are going to overwhelm us quickly. Archers are no good in melee combat. Like, no good whatsoever. So, I'm going to want to be in a position from whence the only way to attack me is across a river, ideally. Let's move into these positions. Now, they will still be attacked, but that's fine, because they can cross these distances no matter what I do. I want them to have to attack me across water, if possible. Okay, we're attacking. Good. Got warriors down there, warriors over here. First and foremost, begin the attack. They can't retaliate. Good times. Knocking you. Hasn't done an awful lot of damage, to be certain. But I don't want to move into this tile for obvious reasons. Now, the warriors are the stronger attackers. I could defend here, force them to come to us. Right now, if they want to attack my archers, they have to do it across water, where my archers are not going to receive a penalty. If I were to move my archers back a tile, then that would still be true. But I'm actually going to defend this turn and let them try and blunt their swords on us rather than us charging in. Okay, they're going for my archers. My archers will come off quite badly in an engagement against melee troops. Oh, they just went round. That was... Didn't anticipate that attack. Ah, drat, I should have blocked it. Okay. I should have moved in there and just accepted the difficulty I was going to face. Okay. Well, now we're in an awful position. However, if I move down here, I wonder if their archers are nearby. They must be. Either way, if we can hold this tile, I may lose the entire group, but ultimately... I feel it. Oh, they are retreating to try and deal with the fact that we're holding this position. Again, they realize the danger that me having that zone is them. Now, they are attacking me. I'm really attacking via crossing a river. That's kind of annoying that I'm still suffering from that. Perhaps I should have paid a little bit more attention before. Either way, if we've got a good roll, we may come out on top here. The main thing is not losing this site. If this army has to go down so that we can keep this site, then that's just the way it's going to have to be. If I can hold this tile, and they can't dislodge me, then we win. They wiped out my entire archer group. But we won the battle. The remaining units retreated and will have ended up somewhere back here, but we did lose 2 archers to that. It was a costly victory. A Ferric victory. Right, okay. Well, once again, they've lost more war score. This is becoming a much more costly war for them than for us. Though, interestingly, I want to see how... we're still comparable. Okay. So we haven't blunted their attacks enough yet. Well, now that is the case, I'm going to move this group up here just to fortify the groups. Make sure that we're not going to lose anyone here. What kind of population we've got? We've only got 3 population, and I am draining this rapidly. Very rapidly. Still, I would like another archer after this one. Hopefully, we are growing our population. 3 turns. It's going to be a costly war, this one. Definitely. Alright. Now, with that, I'm going to move my best unit across. Can I not do that? No, they don't have enough turns to make the move. Okay. Well, we're vulnerable then from attackers moving in. City defense researched. With the advent of permanent settlements, thought naturally turns to securing the defenses. The earliest innovations are simple but effective. Okay, so we've now got walls, and we can now have warriors. They're now moving in with single units of warriors primarily. Okay, so first and foremost, let's get some chonky defenders down here. Can I... Oh, they can't merge. Right. That does make sense when you think about it. Not being able to merge the group. And because eventually we're gonna lose the group anyway. Right. As for this, we could get in there now. Get an early fight going. Hopefully take them out. We have healed a little bit. Let's move the spearmen down here. They can just defend this location. In fact, I wouldn't mind the spearmen being the ones to engage. Sure. Let's get the spearmen in there into this fight. They just backed out. They were like, nope. No, not tangling with spearmen. I came here to tangle with scouts and horses, not spearmen. What is this madness? I feel that retreat was a little bit unfair. I feel they got a pretty solid deal out of that. My goodness. They travelled half the map. I am displeased. Still can't grab you. You're still a defensive army. Bear is not sacking our territory. Thank you very much, Bear. Very kind of you. We could head on down here. Probably drive them back again. Again, this does...
I do not
every
live for
retreat
revenge,
affects
but I could die
their
for it.
war score. So that was a good hit to their willingness to fight, regardless. Right, we've got a lot of things going on. Okay, next up. At this point, we can get bronze working, which would give us spearmen. Or we can go for the wheel. And gain our emblematic unit. A very, very powerful chariot. A ranged chariot, no less. Can move and fire. Very tempting. The anti-cav is, of course, also very tempting. But this will take me 16 turns to research. Still, I feel that 60 turns spent on that will be well worth it. As the harvest season draws close, the common folk are worried. With many farms scattered across the Empire, last year an infestation of rodents, largely rats and mice, plundered granaries. However, rumour have it that one enterprising village mitigated the problem by using cats. But you also know that sailors use a new kind of predator named a ferret. Which of them will... Well, it's not even a choice for me, game. I would have liked to go deeper into tradition, but how can I pass up ferrets? We're going to lose the faith again. But look, I've already fallen into the trap of making choices for roleplay reasons, and there can be no choice more important than this one. Smaller, they'll be more efficient, even if they are more fragile. Tonk. There we go. Also, they're not that much smaller. Ares is as big as Tilly. Doesn't weigh as much, but he's as big. Religious conversion started. The people of Aavak will be converted to Oak Brethren in 5 turns. Excellent news. On that note, we should probably have a look at this. Let's take a peek, shall we? How are things going? In terms of our cultural presence, yeah, you're going to claim this, I imagine. Yeah, it's going to happen soon too. Over here, only just holding on here. How about down here? 17 there. We have no... There's no religious... no influence moving right now because we're at war. It'll only move when you're not. It can already be there, but it won't move around afterwards. Likewise, our religious pressure has instantly stopped, which is a shame because we were getting close to converting some of them, I feel. Alright, we are reasonably close to a merchant star, interestingly. This war has really dug into our production of stars, which is a problem. We might have to slow our upgrading. Right, I think maybe taking you down here. Sure, yeah, let's get our archers over there. Archers against warriors, as long as we've got something to blunt them, we should be okay. If we've got something to tie them up, then the archers will wipe them out. As long as they're not fighting over a river, I have since discovered. Alright, let's get involved. No mercy, indeed. Manual battle, please. Okay, they are going to stand and fight. Brave of them. Archers. Try and be far away if you can. Oh, actually, no, I don't have any archers. What am I talking about? Okay, well, we don't really want them to be able to engage us unless they've had to cross a river first in order to do it. So let's just move everyone back. End deployment. Now, they are defending. I'm going to pass the first turn and let them move. Then I'm going to rush my my horses around and try and take that tile. Once again, if they want to attack us, they're going to have to move forward. Oh, they're not willing to. All right. Well, this avoids zone of control, so we can make it all the way around. And then you're going to just defend from this position. Honestly, I should have waited and done that right on the end. Duly noted. I will make sure to do that in the future. Wait until the last turn. If they're not stood on the tile, just move cavalry all the way around. Cheesy, but effective. Right. We would get... They've got +2 bonus from defending, and I don't like that bonus. Really don't. I don't want to have to be defending on the river. Now we're going to hold position. See what they do. Let's see. You can actually move further around, though. If I can move you into position... So actually, can I move you now? No, sadly I can't. I've already made my choice. Okay, next turn. I'm going to move my units just in case they're able to remove us. I want to be able to move down and reclaim that tile. But once again, you're simply going to defend. I'm attacking them. They have to hold that defense. They can't simply sit on their laurels and wait for us. Not once we've claimed that tile. And there we go. Once again, duly noted. Next time, I'll be much more aggressive about that and get in there as quickly as I'm able to. Sadly, we're now stuck out here, and that unit is not in the best of health. So, I think with the next turn, we're going to have to be quick on our feet because turns are simultaneous here. We're going to just try and move off this tile before they can move up to it. We'll see how that plan unfolds. Because they may be able to move quite quickly. They've got a wounded warrior there. I don't know where the warrior that just had to retreat has gone. It has probably fallen back quite far. But as far as the war goes, we've now dropped their war support reasonably far. It is now... Well, on the next turn, it's going to be below 50%. We need to get to 0 to be able to force a resolution. I can propose white peace, and then we just give up. We've blunted some of their armies. But this is at a terrible cost to us. We are not progressing as much as we would like. On the plus side, though, one thing we are doing is we're getting kills. Well, not so many kills yet, but we are winning victories. The militarist stars, probably some of the easiest to win because the thresholds are incredibly low. You can move through the stars for a militarist very, very quickly. But that's going to be the end of this episode, I'm afraid. It is that time, and that is to say, we've run out of time. I do hope you've enjoyed today's episode. It has been a little bit war-focused, so the Empire as a whole hasn't really made much progress, but this was a war that we knew was going to have to happen. Interesting that that's got a laurel. That usually signifies that it is a capital city. Or perhaps it's just signifying that this is part of the war terms. It must be that. Either way, I really do hope you've enjoyed. I hope to see you in the next, but until tomorrow, do take care, everyone.